week that's just gone, I've had the new gudgeon bushes press fit into the, I'll just zoom this camera in a little bit, fitted to the conrods. Now, they're a lovely fit, with a little bit of oil on the gudgeon pin that fits in nicely. It should just fit in the piston nicely as well. So we have the number this side on the conrod, we have the combustion chamber that side as well, which was how it was originally. And we just need to poke that in there, keeping it all clean. Clean as we can anyway. And now, with the circlips, you'll notice a smooth side on the circlip and you'll notice a sharp side. The smooth side goes towards the pin, so the sharp corner comes out. So we put that in. Take a minute and make sure that's right. And on this fella here, same thing over the back here. And we take a minute and make sure the circlip's in the groove, the gap's the same height and all that. So that sits there slopping around now, which is a good thing. What I like to do now is drop the piston down lower in the vise, just so it's supported. And we don't do it up tight. It's just so this piston doesn't rock around when we go to put the rings in. So, when you get the rings, they often come with numbers, and that does all the work for you. So the number 1 ring, in this instance it goes downwards, so we just tidy that up. Now there's a few ways of putting rings on. One way is just pop your fingers in the end and down you go. This isn't the best way. Now, on the oil rings down the bottom, I'll get my glasses on, but there's normally not a top and a bottom on them. The oil control rings can go on either way. Now the second ring up, that's another oil control ring, and that has a little spring inside it, which holds a bit of oil there, so it goes in. Now if that joins there, as you bring it around the other side, and the gap in the ring I put opposite that, so they don't line up. Once again, oil control ring, no top and bottom. If there's a little dot or a top or a mark on a piston ring, that's the way it goes. You try and fit it that way. I've got the pliers here. I was only going to put 1 ring on with my fingers. I'll actually find my other ring pliers. Now this is a cheap set. They do the job. Look, they do the job fine. And by putting the rings in here, it actually frees up your other hand from doing it by fingers. If it's a cold day, rings can become brittle. So yeah, I set them out in the sunshine. Make sure this gets under there. Okay, number 3. Now, these rings here, they've got a dish, they're like a Belleville spring. And you have to have them so the 2 dishes and the spring are facing each other. Not like that, like that. So you'll have 2 extra rings like that. So you actually get 4 segments, and you have to make sure, have the gaps not together, and you have to make sure that the outer edges on this pair are touching, and then the outer edges on the other are touching. So you end up with 2 rings, a little gap, then 2 rings. So we just feed those on. They're very easy to get on. But you must make sure, we'll turn him around 180, you must make sure you get that right. So you have 2 rings, a little gap, then 2 rings, so we know that's correct. Okay, I'll sneak off and grab a different sort of pliers now to show you. Now this is a set of hazard pliers, and they have a little lip there, and when you put the rings in, they support the ring all the way down. This is the best sort to have. So our next ring, it's a non-chrome, just a cast ring. There's no top and bottom marked on that, and it's a square ring. So we fit him in there. And down we go. That's your next compression ring. And the top ring is a chrome one. You can see the chrome on the outer edge here. And in this instance, this can go either way as well. Now when we have all the rings on the pistons, well, what I like to do is have the bottom one just off the gudgeon, so just on the side, and the next one up I take just off to the side at 180 degrees away. These fellas here, I've got them spaced all around. This fella here, the next one, the second one up, where if I'm lined up there with that one, I bring this around this side of the gudgeon. Then this other fella here, I do the same with him. And so any gas that comes in has to come down here, around the side, down there, and so it just helps. The furthest, or the longer you can make the travel for any compression pass, the better. I don't like putting the ring grooves on the thrust side of the piston where the piston comes down, they all push aside. I never put a groove there. I always keep the grooves either side of the gudgeon. So yeah, wherever the gudgeon pin is, I usually just space them 180 across there. That's just how I do it. So that's ready to go on. I do have a Lyle ring compressor, and we compress the rings and just slide the piston in. So as for just fitting the rings and fitting the gudgeon into the conrods, that's all you need to do. There's nothing more that needs to happen, I don't believe. Just check this once more that we have the numbers. This is number 3. We have the numbers here lined up on the same side as the swirl chamber. It's got STD, standard bore, marked on the top of it. So as for fitting the pistons, that's it. We'll get set up on the block now, and we'll go through fitting this number 3. We'll fit it into the bore and we'll tension the con rod, and we'll do all that sort of thing. We'll only do a 1 bore. You don't need to see me do it 20 times, but on a 3-cylinder engine. Okay. We'll reset up and we'll start fitting pistons.